Well, just a reminder of our breaking story here on BBC News, and that is that in the past few minutes, Russia's prison authorities have announced that the leading Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny has died. A statement online said that Mr. Navalny had felt poorly after a walk and lost consciousness soon afterwards. It added that doctors had arrived straight away, but that all attempts at resuscitation had failed. Now, details are still coming in, and I'm still joined by my colleague Vitaly Shevchenko. Vitaly, I just wanted to bring this in because we've just heard from Mr. Navalny's press secretary, who is saying that she has no confirmation at the moment of Mr. Navalny's death. But I assume that we should take what the Russian authorities are saying as fairly confirmed news.
I'd be highly surprised if what's being reported by this official source were to be untrue. It's true that they have a certain track record of being economical with the truth, certain Russian official sources, but clearly this is not a matter they would misreport. Now, given that he was in jail and given that that particular prison is so remote, so far up in the north, it's obviously very difficult to ascertain what exactly happened to Mr. Navalny, if he's dead, what exactly caused his death. We know that the conditions under which he was held are pretty tough, and he had complained about them repeatedly. He had been put in what's known as the punishment cell on numerous occasions. His physical appearance since his incarceration in 2021, of course, it's suffered. He was looking gaunt and thin in his video appearances from the jail that he was being kept, and that tells us that, of course, there are reasons to believe that his health was in danger in the Russian jail.
For many people who are just coming to this story, they may know the name Alexei Navalny. They know that he was a prominent critic of the Kremlin, a thorn in Vladimir Putin's side, but they perhaps don't know enough about why. He was the leader of an anti-corruption movement in Russia, someone who had a lot of support in the country as well as critics. Can you just tell our viewers a little bit more about how significant he was and why he was such a problem to Vladimir Putin?
Well, I think we have to start by saying that Russian media space and the way Russian politics operates, it's been very restrictive for years. So for Mr. Navalny, it's always been an uphill struggle to gain support within Russia. He was denied access to the media. It was really difficult for him to campaign and rally. And yet, despite all that, his investigative videos that he posted online, they received millions of views, and he and his team, known as the Anti-Corruption Foundation, they investigated official corruption by alleging corruption by President Putin himself and his key officials. And even though Mr. Putin, his spokesman Dmitry Peskov, they repeatedly denied that there was any reason for them to pay any attention to Mr. Navalny whatsoever, clearly they did, and even the way they referred to him without mentioning his name suggested that they were concerned, to say the least. So when Mr. Navalny was poisoned in August 2020, of course, fingers started pointing at the Russian security service, and later laboratories in the West, they confirmed that he was poisoned with military-grade Novichok agent. So that's why so many people are saying that Mr. Navalny has, for years, been the target of the Kremlin's pressure.